everyone. Welcome back. My name is Madhura and I have Jyoti with me. And as promised, we are going to react to an ongoing saga, right?
I mean,
Tell us more.
I don't
Tell
think
us
it's
more.
I don't think it's ongoing anymore. I think it's done and dusted. But
Okay.
there's been too many requests and comments asking
Yes,
for
there are
this.
lots and lots and lots of requests asking for this. So
Yeah.
it is finally here.
So we are giving in to the pressure, but it's normally not our cup of tea. You know, the beats and the diss tracks and everything. But like we've said before, हमने वचन दिया था channel पे कि we will
Yes,
get to the
actually, we did say that we will get to the
Muhfaad and Krsna. This thing, but we're
week.
purely doing it because we've heard that it's lyricism at its best when it comes to dissing. So our ears, we've had to mentally and spiritually prepare ourselves for all the galis that are going to come in these two songs because it takes a lot for us to listen to this. But disclaimer, kids and parents, mom and dad especially,
please,
I know
this is your point to switch off because
close the window. Close the window.
Not because we are using swear words. It's not. We are very nice people. We don't use swear words. But the videos that we're going to watch have a lot of explicit language. So this might not be everybody's. I know.
We are not saints also, but mom, dad, just switch off. It's okay. Don't watch this one is what I'm saying. I'm saying it to my mom and dad because I know sometimes they click. So anyway, let's get into this. Basically, we discussed this offline, and just to let everyone know, we are not going to react to Happy Diwali Ravan because we've already reacted to Untitled before we knew it was a diss. So you can watch that. I will link that here. But we will move on from that point and do Muhfaad's Bitch I'm a God, and then followed up with Krishna's response, which was called Maharani. So let's get into it.
Let's do this.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Emotionally? Yes. Okay.
Yes, let's do this. Okay, we are first reacting to Bitch I'm a God, right?
Yeah.
Let's do.
It says made in 10 hours in the title.
Okay.
Okay, chalo. 1, 2, 3, play.
I'm really sorry यार फनकार, इस बार भी मैंने WhatsApp वाली बीट जो तूने भेजी थी वही उठा के प्रोजेक्ट में डाल दी. मैं मिक्स मास्टर कर ही नहीं रहा इस बार ब्रो. छोड़, सब कुछ रॉ रखेंगे इस बार. कुछ चौधे फालतू में पैदा हो जाती है ना, वो खत्म करते हैं. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के.
So it's not mastered, huh?
महाराज ऐसी प्रजाति के सोने की थाली न बर्तन चांदी के आईने में देखो जो खुद को सुबह उठ के कभी भगवान तो कभी शैतान दिखे बांधू लगोट पे गांधी के नोट में पैसा खोलने पे बोलू की झूठ में जीरो पे रह के मैं हीरो बना सबका नेम फेम में सब तेरी बहन की झूठ में. ओए ओए काली मत दे, रिस्पेक्ट वुमेन. तू गोरा चिट्टा लौंडा है ये खेल गंदा कीचड़ से, तुझे जिससे ने सिखाया जाके क्या दे अपने टीचर से के सर जी उसके बाल पीले मेरे दांत पीले पीले इतने ज्यादा हगू मुंह से या मैं चूतड़ से. पर तू मुझसे वाला नहीं है, दिल तो तू माड़ा पर तू घुसे वाला नहीं है. हाथ चला चादर में तू गुस्से वाला नहीं है. गुड़गांव से बस एक नाम 47 सा दूसरे वाला नहीं है. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के. ये है गौरव पालनी बिल्लाल, तू जुबान को संभाल जाके पूछ पहले वालों से मैं करता हूँ क्या हाल. तू अनटाइटल्ड है, सोचा तुझे नाम तो दे दूं पर फिलहाल ये सवाल. तूने सीखा क्या चिन्नाल, हिट होने में चिन्नाल को लगेंगे 12 साल. और जब तक मैं हूँ जिंदा स्ट्रगल तेरा जारी हर राम को. लंदन से भी ठोकू ना सलाम तेरी आर्ट को, बचकानी टोन में बने तू वाना भी हार्डकोर. तुझसे बेहतर कलाकार हूँ मैं, तुझसे ज्यादा समझदार हूँ मैं. तू वहाँ जाके चूतिया कटाना, ज्वाइन करूँ कलमकार क्यों मैं. मेरा साथ मांगने को बेटा पापा तेरे गए थे, मना DMF ने किया तो वो शायद चिढ़ गए थे. थोड़ी दिक्कत अंशुल भाई मुझे आपसे भी थी, पर भैंड चोता नहीं तो यार आप सही थे. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के. मैं वो नशा हूँ जो बोले सारे चढ़ के, सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के. Let me tell him Oh my god. तेरी जाने कसम मैं वो चीज उन लसन को रख के सिलवट्टे पे पीस तू गाना चाहे 1 2 10 तू या 20 तू मर्जी का मालिक मैं मन चाहे फीस लूं महाराज अजीब से ना अब देख ले करीब से ना ना हल्के में गलती से प्लीज ना मैं तुझे सस्ता लगूं तो मैं चूतिया खरीद लेना प्रणाम अस्सलाम वालेकुम आजाद हूं मैं मर्जी का मालिक हूं कान बंद करना बालिक तो बुद्धि से गाली भी शायरी में तू मैं वो गाली भी निकालूं ना गाने में देता से लेबस से साइनों के इन्हें लगूं बेबस में सिक्कू पे क्या ही करोगे मुझे वायरल बेच के माने भी मैं होना नहीं फेमस मैंने कहा था ना सुबह होगी हेडलाइन मैं वो नशा हूं जो बोले सारे चढ़ के सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के मैं वो नशा हूं जो बोले सारे चढ़ के सड़ने वाले जितने भी ये रहते डर के
Praja ki jai ho. Interesting. Why was he? Why did he put that thing at the end that I'm sick and I made this in record time?
I didn't understand that. I wondered why there was that statement. But
I even broke my own record of making a song. It honestly took me 10 hours to complete the audio and video on my own.
It was interesting. Okay. All right. So, shall we watch Maharani or do you want to talk about this?
No, let's talk about it. Otherwise, I will forget. There are so many things there. So, obviously, you and I don't know every little thing he's talking about because
yes,
apparently there was a lot of issues within the labels and him being with a label called DMF, and I think these guys are Kalamkar and then.
Yeah, so and then he's also like, why will I join Kalamkar? And then he's like, Anshul bhai, mujhe aapse bhi issue thi. And then it's like, but then eventually the one person he's going after is Krsna, and it's very very clear he's going after Krsna.
Yeah, so he had a Musewala line
the
there,
reference as well, correct?
Which was quite clever, I thought.
Yeah. And then you're like, you're not Musewala nahi hai, so it's.
And then he said the only rapper from Gurgaon is 47, no one else.
Yeah.
So that was another like, you're not the only one in your hood or whatever kind of thing.
Correct.
Lot of below the belt stuff, of course. Very things that made me cringe big time, but I have a thing. Whatever I'm feeling always shows on my face. Yeah, it's a problem. But I tried very hard to control my expressions while listening to this. He took a dig at his bachkani tone mein to banna chahe hardcore kind of
hardcore.
Thing.
Correct.
Anyway, sorry. You say. Give me your thoughts. I want to know.
There are bits where he really speeds up, like Busta Rhymes, right? He goes like full throttle in terms of speed. But personally, I thought that with the speed, I think one of the important things when you're rapping at high speed is the clarity of speech, right? And that's very important for rappers. So that I thought that Muhfaad loses a few points for that because where he was, and again, of course, at the end there is a disclaimer that he had a bad throat, he was unwell, so I'm sure that also affects how you throw your lines, right? How you spit your words out. It affects that. So I'd probably give him some consideration, but even then, like the couple of references were clever, but most of the track I thought was like really below the belt going after Krsna. This was very, very clearly a diss track, and there was no unapologetically a diss track. There was not even a lot of effort on being a clever diss track. I thought. I could be wrong. I mean, don't come after me in the comments.
No, I mean, you are entitled to your opinion. I feel like now that you're saying all these things, like I feel like that little disclaimer that I made this in 10 hours is it's not mixed. You can tell from the sound.
Yes.
But
yes.
I mean, I just hope it's not like, oh, give me some credit. I'm sick and I still did this and all of that. Like then that would not really serve the purpose of you saying pajama. You know, that would just be like I'm giving. If you find any faults in my track, know that it's because of this. you know, which is like, gods don't do that. But anyway, so
but to be fair, sometimes it is one of those things that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't,
yeah, I
right?
agree.
So
Can't hold it
I
against
also
him.
think you can't hold it against him. So that's why I said there is some consideration and some concession I will make for the fact,
Yeah.
because it's human. Sometimes you can't be at your 100% even if you mentally are there, but sometimes your body just doesn't work with you, right? So
yeah.
now I wanna listen to Maharani and then I wanna compare.
But I also want to say that you mentioned, when you go at a fast, when you speed up, the clarity is important, but clarity also, and the other thing that's important, which I felt like wasn't grabbing me, like me personally, to those bits, were the actual lines. Like,
yes.
I didn't enjoy the flow of the sped up version. Like I know when I've heard Raftar speed up in different songs, you're just like, you're hooked.
Yes.
And
you're
like, you're like, it grabs you. The skill was there, but the grabbing didn't happen. That's my only
thing. So like for me, I think the rapper that I like when he speeds up, for me personally, is Busta Rhymes, right? And then when he speeds up, you're like, you can't go faster than this, and there is an excitement that builds up even when you're listening to someone speed up, right?
Like,
because
you only stop breathing.
Doing it. Yeah,
like,
that happens. Exactly. And then when they are doing like na 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 na, and then you're like, you're also moving and grooving with that line, right? Though there is no way in hell you could catch up with them without a lot of practice. I didn't feel that happen with me, even though he was speeding up. I think that for me, and I'm generally I'm a huge fan of someone who can do that. Like, you can rap at breakneck speed and keep your flow and do it properly in such a way that every word is clear. It's not easy. So I think
I know you to go on praising when that happens. I've seen it.
Yes. So I thought that for me as a listener was a miss. Personally.
Yeah. But also, this is like our intro to Muhfaad. We've never heard him before.
Yes, that is true.
So we don't know any of his previous work or his
Correct.
Tracks that he's used to diss other people or whatever. I don't know his history at all. So
or even his music as such. So
our very unbiased.
This is a very blank. Yes, this is a very blank canvas as far as Muhfaad's music is concerned, because this is the first track that we are reacting to, and it happens to be a diss track. So maybe we should, just for academic purposes, go back and listen to some more of his music, which is just music that he's made and which is not part of a beat.
But he's clearly got issues with Kalamkar.
Clearly, yes.
And now he's taking it out on Krsna after Untitled. So
correct. After Untitled.
See what Krsna
says. Let's see the response. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, play.
Okay, $R$. Maharani. सुना तुझे भी अपनी है मरवानी, होंगे इस ठुकाई के बाद तेरे भी पैर भारी, गहराई में शाक मेरी लहर आ रही, तू वो जल परी जो नहर में ना तैर पारी, पड़ेगा अब थप्पड़ तू असली खबर पढ़, मैंने महारानी को फाड़ दिया, देखा लगाना चाहता तू रेखा सिंदूर से, मैं अमिताभ तेरी लेके तुझको नकार दिया, तेरी प्रजा नहीं ये मेरी अवाम है, तेरे दोगलेपन का तो राहूं गवाह मैं, एयर होस्टेस थी ना तेरी बंदी, वो तो उसका काम है, पर तू क्यों हवा में, तू था डॉग तेरी बिच में ही चाहता, नॉक रात के बीच में ही आता, उसने कहा क्रिश गिव मी दैट डिक, मेरा इतना बड़ा उसका मुंह फाड़ के भी फिट नहीं आता, बुरा लगा रफ्तार भैया ने बुलाया नहीं हसल में, बुरा लगा कृष्णा भैया आगे निकल गए असल में, बुरा लगा आर्टिस्तान ने तुझे प्यार नहीं किया, बुरा लगा तुझ पे डीएमएफ ने कभी ध्यान नहीं दिया, करने लगा ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग ज्यादा, पर हमले से पहले एक वार्निंग आता। क्लासिकल संगीत का है शौक मुझे आजकल, उठ के चलाता हर मॉर्निंग रागा। डिस मिनिमल तुझे मैक्स से डर है, मेरे दांत पीले नहीं तेरे फैक्स की दर है। मैंने डाला गाना 11:30, तूने डाला 10 पे 22.5 घंटे मैच की दर है। 4 साल 3 लेवल लॉक नहीं कर पाया, 1 साल से मिलियन क्रॉस नहीं कर पाया। माल फूक के दिन भर रहता है स्टोन पर, आज तक एक शो तू रॉक नहीं कर पाया। अभी बहुत रेज है पर पहले स्टेज पे देखा तेरी तो आवाज नहीं आ रही थी। रेड बुल शो पे अपने गाने नहीं गा पाया, रफ्तार भैया मुझे सांस नहीं आ रही थी। थोड़ा कम फूक तू मार ली नहीं है, हाल ही में सुना तेरी मार ली गई है। जाके संभाल अपने रंगीन बाल बेटी, आखिरकार ये कोई ब्यूटी पार्लर नहीं है। लेना ना पंगा, लगा दूं मैं लंका, हाँ तुझ में ना क्षमता बनाने का ढंका। सुबह सुबह मुझे उधेड़ेगा बंदा, आज ही मेरा घंटा। कारण बता अपनी अकड़ का, पिछली बार मिला तो शक्ल से शक्कर था, तुझ पे मैं शक्कर था। छोटे तू मेरे ना टक्कर का, जाके ये पकड़ जा तू तो नहीं ककड़ का। भसड़ का जिक्र अब कर रहा है जान के, मेरा विकिपीडिया पढ़ ले तू ध्यान से। पड़ा विकिमीडिया के कूड़ेदान में, मैं गुस्से वाला नहीं जब तक पंगा करते, फिर ट्रैक पे छोड़ू तुम्हें नंगा करके। अब धो लिए हाथ तूने गंगा जल में, मैं घुसे वाला नहीं मिलने घंटा घर पे। पंच लाइन पे पंच लाइन पे पंच लाइन, इसको देख के लगता है जैसे मेरा लंच टाइम। आलू स्लिक टैग जैसे खुलू किट कैट, लाता मैं बार जब आता है क्रंच टाइम। I am not the one to fuck with, तू लगे इन ब्रेड जैसे बन में कटलेट। अब बंटी के बिस्तर में कर तू वर्जिश, I guess for you son is fun to suck dick। बीफ में तेरी क्या औकात है, I kill guy छोड़ी 100 लाश है। तेरा खानदान सुनता है एमीवे, अब समझा चूतिया क्यों औलाद है। मैदान में बस असली जो रख दे कदम, तू नकली जन्म से अब रख ले भरम। रिप्लाई के नाम पे तू कर ले शर्म, रख दे कलम हर जस तू कर दे खत्म। 40 भी सुनता है कृष्णा के गाने, हाँ सच नहीं बोलता तू फेकर है बेटा। तुझसे बड़ा हुआ दूसरा महाराज, किंग रॉको का चौको तू लेकर है बैठा। खा ले तू मुंह में अब डाल ले तू। रैप छोड़ बेटी तेरे बस की नहीं है, कोई जल्दी नहीं है, पहले जुल्फे संभाल ले तू। इतने साल से बनाया नहीं हिट, हिप हॉप के घर में लगाया नहीं ब्रेक। बीमारी में तूने बनाया ये डिस, अफसोस फिर भी कुछ लिख पाया नहीं। सिक मारने का था तुझे इरादा नहीं, दिखाया रिस्पेक्ट और बदले में मांगा नहीं। धक्का दोगे तो कठोर मुझसे ज्यादा नहीं, मैं ही भगवान मुझसे बड़ा महाराजा नहीं। सुना तुझे भी अपनी है मरवानी, होंगे इस ठुकाई के बाद तेरे भी पैर भारी। गहराई में
नहीं भगवान मुझसे बड़ा महाराजा नहीं। Listen, there were too many bars in there for me to.
Like I said,
tell
right?
Me your thoughts.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So he put out, I made this track even though I was sick, and then Krsna said you didn't write anything sick, even though you were unwell.
That line was
That line for me was
just. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics because we need to discuss. There was so much in there.
There was a lot of references. I mean, clearly they have a lot of history, and it goes way, way back. And I think Krsna doesn't really go after Muhfaad for everything that Muhfaad said about him in this track, right? Except probably about him calling his teeth yellow. Except that bit. The rest of the track is he's going after Muhfaad.
He also said that you're not able to fight face to face. So he said, "Come and meet me at Ghanta Ghar," whatever that line was. So he clapped back at that as well.
Correct.
A couple of things. I'm just looking at the lyrics now because there's too much. There's Amitabh, there's Rekha. Yes. No, go on. Teri praja nahi hai, meri awaam hai. Interesting. Oh God. Then he went to his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend. Ex, I think. Air hostess. And okay, that really made me cringe a bit. That is
correct.
But
and it says that Krsna made the track in 8 hours. I mean, there was that as well. So if Muhfaad put it out in 10 hours, he said he made it in 8 hours.
Yeah. So that line was, where is the maths?
Where is the maths? Yes. I was like,
wait. So there's obviously the whole Raftar bit and the hustle that tujhe bulaya nahi, and then there's
correct. There's DMF, this whole thing about DMF didn't pay attention, and in 4 years you changed 3 labels, but you still not put out a hit. You've not hit 1 million for a very long time. You're a pothead.
मेरे दांत पीले नहीं, मेरे दांत पीले नहीं, तेरे फैक्स किधर है? मैंने डाला गाना 11:30, तूने डाला 10 पे. What is 22.5 ghante? Maths kidhar hai? That line, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm weak with numbers in Hindi. Interesting, man. He's talked about him being stoned at the shows, not
Correct.
being able to
Not
deliver
being-
it on stage. He loves taking talking about his hair, you know.
Yes.
Zulfe, and then beauty
Zulfe,
parlor.
Jalpari and beauty parlor and all of it. So in this one, right? Obviously, the first, the last move was made by Muhfaad, who goes after Krsna for a lot of things. What I liked about his reply to Muhfaad is that there is very few things that he's getting defensive about, except a couple of them, right? Otherwise, he's on an offensive throughout the track. You know,
He's
he is going after him. He's like, I'm not even going to respond to some of the things that you've said in the track, but I'm just going to come after you, and how. So, which I thought was and very intelligently done. I mean,
very intelligently done. I mean, come on, he had that whole Kit Kat line, which was पंचलाइन पे पंचलाइन उसको देख के लगता है जैसे मेरा लंच टाइम आज लेता जैसे खोलूं किटकैट लाता मैं बार्स जब आता है क्रंच टाइम like it's just so intelligently done. He's you're right, like he's on the offense. There's very few things he's gone on the defense with, but listen, a lot of reading also, and my eyes are widening also because of the language. But yes, I have to. Okay, so moving beyond, there's a lot of comments we'll get as we've gotten on earlier videos that say watch Rohan Karyappa's breakdown of every line, which after I record this reaction with you, I will do later, because a lot of things there that you and I don't know, right? The history about, but just on a skill level and on a production level and on an intelligent bars, facts, clearly, yeah, Krsna wins the round.
This one feels like Krsna wins the round, only because I think because he's not on the defensive, but he's on the offensive, right? Whereas Muhfaad's track was a lot of there's a certain amount of being defensive and also going after Krsna, whereas this one is all out offensive. So I think for that it gives Krsna an upper hand in what we've seen so far.
Also, he's both of them are Delhi guys, right? And the whole like, I spent 2 years in Delhi. It was a culture shock for me, because like you know, you have to be on the offense in Delhi just at a regular day-to-day basis. So when and if you've lived in Delhi for a decent amount of time, you would have seen a street fight, or you would have seen someone having it out with someone else. He said towards the end, I'm just seeing मारने का था तुझमें इरादा नहीं दिखाया रिस्पेक्ट और बदले में मांगा नहीं धक्के दोगे तो कठोर मुझसे ज्यादा नहीं. So he's like, look, I'm doing my thing, but if you're gonna come at me, then I'm not.
Then that's it. Yeah, hold back.
I ain't gonna hold back. I'm gonna rip you apart, kind of statement there, and he's done that. So yeah, it's got that whole. What are your thoughts though?
What are my thoughts on what?
On diss tracks in general in the genre of hip hop. Like, do they add to the art form or do they take away?
So if it raises the performance, right? Sometimes, I mean, there are lots of things that fuel an artist. There are lots of things that fuel their music. And sometimes it's also rage that fuels you, or it could even be envy that fuels you, right? So I do think that and I mean rapping has always been about sparring with each other, right? I mean, most of the how do they come up? They all go to these, you know, these what do they call them? Yeah, these freestyle, open mic nights where you go at it with
Rap
each other, right?
battles.
And yeah, the rap battles where there is an MC, you're given a beat, it's all about improvising and then clapping back at each other, right? That's the tradition of it. So
Yeah.
even in those rap battles, what you're doing in a way is a diss itself, right? So there is some way it's kind of already built into it. So I think it's something that is sparring, which keeps you sharp, right? It's because it's all about how quickly you come up with something and you do that in within the meter and flow and in rhyme, all of that. So there's a place for that.
We said this when we reacted to the Hamilton trailer, like how they warm up before they get on stage.
Correct.
And it's kind of it adds to your skill when you participate in those kind of live battles and things like that. But this is like pre-produced, thought out.
This is pre-produced, it's thought out. I think when it gets to the point where it becomes all consuming, where all you are doing is spending your time and energy and your creative juices on dissing each other, I mean it's like with everything in life, right? There is such a thing as overkill, right? You can at some point just focus on your music and what you're putting out in the world, but if you choose to just focus on the beef you have with the other artists, then at some point I think you're going to take away from what you could be doing if you were not spending so much energy on a disagreement that you have with another creative person. I mean, I think it's got its time and place, but it's when it gets out of hand and it becomes like obsessive, I think that's when it's about balance for me.
Yeah. You, like when you said that you can get fueled by rage also, and you can get fueled by envy also. It's always, I think, as an artist, it's important for you to know that source. What are you getting fueled by here? Is it a bruised ego that's gonna make you do this, or is it just standing up for the truth and putting the truth out there and not letting someone's false narrative kind of take the center stage, or so to speak. So what are you being fueled by? Are you trying to put facts out there?
Correct.
The why is important, right? Yeah. So and clearly there's a lot of DMF is a label, Kalamkar is a label. There's obviously a lot of background history that maybe he felt like he needed to set the record straight on. It's all good. It's all good as long as it's contributing to the art form. But I was told, and thank you again, Karan, for all the background and all the history behind it. But I was told that a lot of people were pissed off about all the cussing, especially in Bijama Mod. Thoda zyada ho gaya, they were saying. But I mean, I don't know. It's just every artist has their way of expressing
themselves. True.
So, like with every other thing that causes you offense, which is the operative word nowadays in the world, my sensibilities were hurt. It's okay, then don't listen to it. Just switch off. That's all.
That is true.
Like Maddie and I do. But anyway, I don't know.
That is true.
This was,
we sound like Zen masters. We are not. Okay?
We are not. We have our moments.
Anything but.
It's easy to sit here and say all this. Obviously, it's very different when you're in their shoes. And I think on a skill level and on a lyrical level, Krsna wins this round. And I think there was responses after this. We'll figure out offline if we want to get to them or if we want to end our diss track reactions here. But A game. Krsna brought his A game, and on that note,
thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.